Anime Vanguards has just updated, and as such, I will be showing off the new update as well as giving my opinion on the current state of the game from someone who has been playing pretty much daily. First up, let's talk about the new characters. Anime Vanguard just dropped 6 fresh units: Sakura, Bean, Takarota, and the 3 focus points of the update, Tengen, Akaza, and the very hyped new burn unit, Rengoku. Starting with Tengen, who's quickly become a favorite of mine. Tengen is a beast with full AoE capabilities, meaning he can hit multiple enemies in every attack. His damage output is massive, even comparing to Igris, one of the best units in the game. With a good trait, I'd even say he's better than Igris, if we're comparing them against each other only. Obviously, with Sun Jinwoo, Igris is still slightly ahead. However, if you're new to the game and don't have Igris, Tengen makes it so you don't need to grind for him. Next, we've got Akaza. Now, Akaza may not be as viable as Tengen or Rengoku, but he's still a solid unit if you're starting out. The bad thing about Akaza is he's average all around. There's nothing that Akaza does that another unit doesn't already do or do better. Finally, let's talk about the shining star of the update, Rengoku. This guy is possibly the highest damage-dealing character in the game right now. Not only can he dish out insane damage, but he also has amazing synergy with burn-based units. His burn effect makes him a perfect duo for the previously nerfed Obito. And that's not just important now. It's going to make Rengoku a vital part of future meta teams as more burn-based characters are introduced. You must grind for him, for sure. Rengoku does have the same problem as Igris. The Raid Act 4 is harder to macro than the Legend Stage Act 3, and with a 1% drop chance, you may need to play the same stage quite a bit of times until you get lucky and drop a Rengoku. Additionally, Act 4 isn't the best stage to farm the raid currency, making it less efficient to farm overnight. Next, let's talk about the new event that's finally added some difficulty to the game, Boss Rush. This new event is a tough one, no question about it. It's designed for high-level players who are ready to face some of the hardest enemies the game has to offer. But here's the best part. Boss Rush isn't just a hard challenge, it's also incredibly rewarding. Completing the event lets you farm the new currency, Boss Coins, that let you buy up to 50 trait rerolls as well as a lot of different essences. After macroing it overnight, I managed to buy out every reroll as well as get the new idle animation. For those new to the tower defense genre, trait rerolls are crucial for upgrading your units, and this event gives you a way to grind a good amount of them. It's a breath of fresh air for free-to-play players who don't want to spend Robux just to stay competitive. Plus, it adds a layer of strategy. Team composition and placement are more important than ever in this event. So if you've been itching for a hard game mode in the tower defense genre, Boss Rush is where it's at. Just be prepared. It's tough. Even I, the greatest tower defense player the world has seen, failed it the first time. Now, speaking of free-to-play players, I have to give Anime Vanguard some serious credit. Unlike other Roblox tower defense games, this one is genuinely free-to-play friendly. In some other tower defense games, it can feel impossible to keep up without dropping some serious Robux. But in Anime Vanguard, you can get really far with grinding, macroing, strategic management of resources, and a little bit of luck in the banners or stages. The developers have done a great job balancing things so that free players can still unlock strong characters, farm important resources like trait rerolls, and progress through difficult stages without feeling completely left behind by those who spend. Sure, paying players get advantages like faster progression, but free players can still compete at high levels if they put in the time. That's something a lot of other tower defense games have struggled with. Either they make it too grindy or too pay to win, but Anime Vanguard strikes a much better balance. Now let's switch gears and talk about an area where the developers need some improvement: communication. While the new content is great, the developers haven't exactly been the best at keeping the community in the loop when it comes to update times. We all know that updates can take time, and that's fine. But what frustrates players is the lack of clear communication about when those updates are actually dropping. It feels like we're left in the dark more often than not, and that leads to a lot of confusion and unnecessary hype at times. For a game with such a dedicated player base, improving communication with the community could really go a long way. Posting regular update schedules or even just giving players more heads up when an update is delayed would build a lot of trust and keep the momentum going. So, if any of the developers are listening, we love the new update, but we need better communication about what's coming next and when. So, was the latest Anime Vanguard update worth the wait? Absolutely. With the 3 new units, 2 of them being game changers, the addition of raids, and the challenging boss rush event, there's plenty of fresh content to keep players engaged for a whole 2 days. Whether you've left your computer on for the past week, farming Igris gems or evolved materials, or you were waiting to see if the game was worth playing, the new update got you covered. Developer communication is still a worry of mine, and hopefully, future updates will come with clearer announcements and timelines. Overall, Anime Vanguard continues to show signs of being the best tower defense game on Roblox. Hopefully, the community keeps giving constructive feedback, and the developers keep listening to them, as making your players happy is the best way to go about keeping a game alive.